White Mountains National Forest in New Hampshire is an explosion of fall colors in October. I'll give credit to my brother who came up with the phrase, "It's like a bowl of Skittles." Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and click the bell icon to get notifications when new videos are uploaded. The White Mountains are a popular place for leaf peeping each fall. We were in the area from October 11th to the 14th, which I would say was the tail end of prime fall colors. But please understand that every year is different. There are many scenic drives in the United States, and this area has some of the best. Technically, I'm covering 3 scenic drives in this video. The White Mountain Road starts in Gorham, New Hampshire and heads south to Conway. The Kan-cah-mah-gus Scenic Byway heads west to Lincoln, and the White Mountain Trail heads north and back east, completing the loop. Google says you can drive this 123-mile route in 2 hours and 43 minutes. It took us 4 days. Starting in Gorham, the first stop is probably the most famous point in the White Mountains, that being the summit of Mount Washington. 8 miles south of Gorham is the turnoff for the road to the summit. This is advertised as America's oldest and continuously operating attraction. A couple things to note: this is a private road, so it's not free. The rate to drive your own car to the summit is $45 for the car and driver, plus $20 per passenger. Also note that RVs of any size are not allowed, which means we couldn't drive to the summit. Another option to get to the summit is with the Mount Washington Cog Railway. This is billed as the first mountain climbing cog railway in the world. I wanted to take the cog train, but they had no availability unless we were willing to go at an odd time and not sit together. So if you want to take the cog train, be sure to have reservations ahead of time. Mount Washington is 6,288 feet above sea level. That's high, but it's not Pikes Peak high. Yet Mount Washington is described as having some of the worst weather in America. The highest surface wind speed ever directly observed by man was recorded at the summit on April 12, 1934, at 231 miles an hour. Back to the main highway, heading south from the Mount Washington turnoff, there are 2 waterfalls. The first is Thompson Falls. The trailhead is at the Wildcat Mountain Ski Area parking lot. Walk toward the ski lifts and then make a sharp left to catch the trail, which is about a mile out and a mile back. In the fall, the leaves on the ground were a colorful tapestry. The second waterfall is Glen Ellis Falls. There's a parking lot on one side of the highway, but the path goes under the road to the falls on the other side. You walk along the river and Cascades before getting views of the falls from above and below. This was probably our favorite waterfall in the White Mountains. The town of Jackson, New Hampshire is the next stop, a cute place with the Honeymoon covered bridge. We will make a point to stop at covered bridges along the way, but I know there are people out there that enjoy an entire vacation centered around covered bridges. I remember one of the tourist information centers had a map just on covered bridges in the area, if that interests you. After this are the towns of Glen, North Conway, and Conway. This is the most developed area in the loop, with many options for lodging and dining. We had a great meal at Merlino's Family Steakhouse. After Conway, the second scenic byway begins. The Kan-cah-mah-gus highway runs 35 miles from Conway to Lincoln and is definitely the most famous scenic byway in the White Mountains. Albany Covered Bridge is the first stop. This was my favorite covered bridge in the area because of the beauty of the river, the trees, and the mountains in the background. The next stop is the Rocky Gorge Scenic Area. Next is the turnoff to Bear Notch Road. This is a shortcut that bisects the loop, but the views from Bear Notch Road are worth the detour. Sabbaday Falls would have been our next stop. It is less than a mile hike to the falls, but we couldn't find parking anywhere around the area. Realize these things do happen. Good advice is to treasure the things you were able to see and don't worry about the things you are unable to do. Make sure that your character is free from the love of money, being content with what you have. For he himself has said, "I will never desert you, nor will I ever abandon you." Ah, contentment, the enemy of advertisers everywhere. The fall colors were spectacular at Sugar Hill Overlook. No lilies on the Willey Pond in October, but a mirror-like reflection of the fall colors. There are a few other viewpoints as you approach the town of Lincoln and the end of Kan-cah-mah-gus Scenic Byway. The third section of the Scenic Byway I'll refer to as the White Mountain Trail. Traveling north from Lincoln, the first stop is the Flume Gorge, which is part of the Franconia Notch State Park. A 2-mile loop takes you to and through the gorge. Note that there is a per-person fee to take this trail. Continuing north, you will find one of the most beautiful stretches of interstate driving, as I-93 reduces to a single lane in each direction to limit the scar the highway makes through this beautiful valley. Exit the interstate at the Route 3 exit toward the town of Twin Mountain. We camped at Ammonoosuc Campground in the town of Twin Mountain. They were the only campground we found open past Columbus Day. Traveling east from Twin Mountain, the first stop is Lower Ammonoosuc Falls. There seems to be two trailheads to these falls. One is a few hundred feet and the other a mile. We took the mile walk, by mistake. I mentioned the Cog Railway to the top of Mount Washington earlier, but realize you access the tour from the opposite side of the mountain from the auto road. The Mount Washington Hotel is a stately landmark with the mountain behind. We spent a rainy afternoon relaxing in the hotel lounge. Silver Cascades are right off the road, but I walked upstream to get better views. Willey Pond is a small pond right off the road, but the reflection of the mountains in the water made this one of our favorite spots. Finally, the last stop I'm going to highlight on the Scenic Loop Road is the trail to Ripley Falls. The falls slide down the face of the rock. The trail crosses the tracks for the Scenic Rail Tour. That completes our fall colors journey of the White Mountains of New Hampshire. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, share, and leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.